Let's get it. All right, we're building war trading bots today. World War III trading bots. What does that even mean? That's the question. I think that's the main question right there. What does that even mean, dude? Because yesterday, if you built a World War III trading bot, you would have got smoked. You would have got smoked. This is too much. This is too much volatility. It's too much volatility. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. Today we are going to build a bunch of stuff and we're going to get started right now. So first things first, I want to go ahead and get you the key to the HL node, Hyperliquid node here. Let's get a new key here. Let's get everybody up in here. Much love to you, 777. Let's get it, dude. What a beautiful fucking day, dude. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day to be alive. Another day, another shot at whatever you're trying to do, dude. Lock in every day. Whatever you're trying to do, you get one more shot, a shot a day. Shot a day. How focused can you get? How deep into the zone can you get? Can you get into your zone? I know you've been to your zone before. Can you get there every day? I don't know. I don't know if you can, dude. I try my hardest to get there. Now you know that zone, that flow state. Let's get it. Let's get it. Got my open claw agent here listening to every single word because I might say one thing that's nice. If you lock in for the whole day, you might hear one good thing. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go to op.hyperliquid here. Op.hyperliquid here. Okay. Okay. Let's get here because World War III trading bots, what does that entail? Probably HIP3. Okay. That's what I need to build for. We got CL. Okay, great. We got gold. Okay, great. We got a bunch of stocks. How much volume is here? A billion. Okay. XYZ cash. XYZ. Silver down here. Okay, great. I think we have exposure here to the World War III trading opportunity. Now, of course, this could be bad vibes. So let's just acknowledge the fact that it's not chill. This is not chill. This is not chill, dude. This is not chill. Any war, people getting hurt. It's not chill. We know that. We know that. All right, I got the new key up in this B. Electron, where you at? I'm gonna hit continue here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and hit refresh. Let's go ahead and relaunch it here. Okay. Let's get the new. Please go ahead and launch the new app. Okay, thank you. Let's get it, dude. Let's fucking get it, dude. Thrilled. I'm thrilled for another opportunity, dude. Every single day. Whatever you're chasing, you get a whole new chance every single day. What a blessed world we're in, dude. Much love to you. 777. See if the key works, and if it works, then we'll go ahead and give it to you. Okay, we're in there like swimwear. Let's get up over here. Let's go. Okay, we can see everybody's positions, and I did make those updates to it yesterday, which is quite nice. Let's look at hype. Okay, we got licks everywhere. Let's go ahead and go back to crypto. Okay, we got crypto Gucci. Let's look at HIP3. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. HIP3, we got CL here. So if we are going to build some bots for World War III, what are those bots going to be? Well, hell, let's go ahead and see here. Copy this over. Okay. Let's get this in the chat. 777 to you, dude. Much love. Timmy Holmes, good to see you guys. Thank you for locking in. Felix, how are you? 777. Thank you. Here's all the keys and stuff. Keys, keys, keys. I'm doing well as well. Thank you, bro. Kelly, how are you doing, dude? 777. I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee and then let's get into it. Claude plus Chrome. I'll use Claude plus Chrome for sure. I'll just use it when I need to, but I'm sure that'll come up. Much love to you. 777. All right, building a trading bot for World War III or the potential World War III. First and foremost, much love to everybody. I hope nobody gets hurt. Scary stuff. I am a trader and I have to trade this. Scary stuff out there. Much love to everybody. Innocent souls are being lost, and that's not fun. So F that. Let's go at least try to build our generational wealth based off of this. Okay, so what I want you to do here, actually, let's go ahead and use Chrome. Let's use Claude and Chrome. So Claude and Chrome is sick, and if you're not using it, if you're still stuck on OpenClaw, you should probably try it. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to go through HIP3 and also the crypto or the perps here in the dropdown of Hyperliquid. And I need you to help me figure out an approach to trading World War III. So I believe the Strait of Hormuz is blocked off. It so oil is more expensive. I'm not quite sure. You'll have to do that research on what's going on right now. What's the current tensions and beef? March 4th, 2026. What type of symbols would we trade to capitalize on that, etc. You have Hyperliquid here, and that's the value I would be trading on. If we need exposure to oil or gold or silver, they have that on the HIP3 drop down. If I need exposure to crypto, they got that as well. Okay, I think we have enough exposure here specifically just on Hyperliquid, so I don't have to rebuild any infrastructure. Okay, go ahead and build that out. Thank you, guys. Okay, so this is Chrome, Claude in Chrome here. And she's going to be cooking for me. At the same time, I would like to cook as well because I don't like to do just one thing. It's just who I am. Okay, so she's going to cook up something there. We'll see. She should be using the drop down in order here. Let's make this smaller. Okay, she's up here, and I'm gonna get busy over here, bro. He's gonna get busy today. He's gonna get busy today. He's gonna get busy every single day. You lock in, he's locked. You know he's locked. Let's get it. Let's get it. Okay, she's taking a screenshot over there. Do your thug fizzle. World War III. Okay, what's happening right now? Your instinct is correct, and it's even more serious than a rumor. Here's the actually before I do that, before I get into all that, let's go ahead and get somebody else cooking for us as well. Okay. I want you to look into World War III and the Hyperliquid data layer here. You see all of our calls we have here, and I think the explain the opportunity for trading this. Okay, yeah, it's sad. It's sad, and people are gonna get hurt. That sucks. Doesn't make me feel good. That being said, I have to be professional and trade what is given to me, and this is a layup because everything is being forecasted. It's opportunity. It's opportunity as a trader. I gotta separate myself, a human and a trader. Okay, separated. Boom. Let's get it. Okay, so I need you to go ahead and give me your five best or three best ideas. I want you to launch three AI agents to all give me your top three ideas of how to trade this pending war. You know, the Strait of Hormuz is closed, whatever. We have HIP3, which gives us access to CL data, gold. We got obviously Hyperliquid, which you have access to. You have access to all these calls. So I want you to go ahead and launch three agents to look at the API calls that we have and then figure out how we can go ahead and monetize this. God, it's so bad. So I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed, dude. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. But it is what it is, and you have to sometimes separate yourself if you're actually a professional, dude. All right, let's send this, dude. I think I just send this now. I just send it. Okay, let's go ahead and see what Shorty says over here. Your instinct is correct, and it's even more serious than a rumor. Here's the confirmed situation as of today, February 28th. Bro, you're way off. Bro, run it back. You said it's February 28th today, dude. It's March 4th. Things have changed drastically. Run it back. Run it all the way back. Do everything again. Jeez, dude. Come on. Lock in. Okay, I was trying to show her off. I was trying to show you how sick she was, but she's not that sick, clearly. Allow. Okay, your instinct is correct. It is more serious than a rumor. Here's the confirmed situation on February 28th. Oh, as of today. My bad. My bad. I just can't read. On February 28th, the U.S. And Israel launched Operation Epic Fury, coordinate airstrikes on Iran targeting nuclear sites, military facilities, and leadership. Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, was killed. Iran retaliated with a missile barrages on Israel cities, U.S. bases in Qatar, UAE, and Bahrain, and activated Hezbollah in Lebanon. The conflict has spread across the region. The Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed. On March 2nd, the IRGC officially confirmed closure and threatened any ship passing through. As of today, March 4th, yeah, my bad, dude. She's so much more locked than I think she is. Huh. I panicked. Okay, IRGC claims complete control of the strait. Tanker traffic has dropped to near zero. 3 tankers have been struck. 3 tankers been struck. We got 3 AIs over here trying to figure out how we can use our data sources. We have the hyperliquid data, dude. Let's get it. The Guardian, I'll allow you to do anything you want, shorty. I got 3 AI agents over here looking into our actual API that you literally have access to. So I can go ahead and trade this. Anything I have, you have, because I believe code's a great equalizer. I believe if you learn how to code, you can actually monetize AI. Everybody else is just yapping. Let's lock in. The conflict has spread across the region. The Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed. Tanker traffic has dropped. 3 tankers have been struck. The Houthis, the hell is all this? Ask before acting. Never ask me again. Sorry. I don't know why I was asking me that. Has also resumed attacks on the Red Sea, forcing rerouting around Africa's Cape of Good Hope. This disrupts 20% of global daily oil supply. 20% is a lot. And significant LNG. Analysts are calling for oil at 100 per barrel. Yeah, but also check this out, dude. Let's go ahead and have another one. Let's go ahead and have another one because I got more words for her ass. I got more words for you. So I got a different, I want to say a different set of agents up here. Okay, so let's say C thing. All right, so the World War III trade, we need to talk about this. I need you to figure out how to essentially trade this. I have access to Hyperliquid, HIP3, all that stuff you can see here. Now, I feel like oil has already got its initial run up. So I want you to go ahead and think this through on, are we late? Are we early? They're saying $100 a barrel. It's not at 100. Did we miss the oil trade? Are there other opportunities here that are not seen yet? Yesterday was a huge run up in oil. So I feel a little behind there. Um, but I don't know. I don't trade oil. Okay, and then also I need to push the new build of Quant app because there's no app in there. Can you go ahead and um, create a new version of the EXE and the DMG and remove the old version out of the disk folder? Thank you. This will be the newest version here, so you just go ahead and name it appropriately. Okay, sick. So she'll get that cooking and I'll put it in the chat later. This isn't really my wheelhouse. What the hell, dude? This is absolutely your wheelhouse because you're in my GitHub with API connection to Hyperliquid. The fuck you talking about? Not your wheelhouse, bro. You know everything. Everything I want to know, you already know. Come on, lock in, and I want you to do a full analysis here, looking at my APIs. 3 agents. Okay, go. Crazy. She just said nah, pretty much. Yeah, right. You never say nah. You're locked. You know everything. Okay, let's see through here. Available instruments on Hyperliquid. So we got oil. Okay, it's at 73 a barrel. 20x leverage. Oil USDH. Okay, so oil. Obviously, I think this is the best oil contract here is on XYZ CL. There is 35 million in volume, maybe. Okay. But how does that play? Like, look, it's already moved. It's already moved. Like, we're way behind. That's what I'm saying. They are targeting 100 a barrel. I don't know if that's true or if that will happen, right? Those are just regular traders like you and I that are targeting 100 a barrel. Like, what does that mean? Nothing. Could hit 10 a barrel before that 100, you know? So we got gold. Okay, we got gold, oil, and silver. So let me go ahead and write some notes here because for the war trade, okay, I'm gonna just put a note sheet here. War trade. War trade on trade on HL. So we got gold, we got CL USDC through XYZ. And there's another opportunity. The only reason I'm doing this is because there's another opportunity with XYZ. I think they'll eventually have an airdrop. I don't know for sure, so maybe we can look into that. We got USCL, USDC, and we've got gold, of course, USDC, and I would keep them all to XYZ for me at least. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm not a financial advisor. All right, let's go here and see if we can just say, okay, we got CL, we got gold. What else? Nat gas. Does that play into this at all? Nat gas, natural gas, maybe not. CL, gold, silver. silver here. So silver, USDC. Okay, so as this is what's going on in the world right now, um, I think this is a good use of time. And on top of that, I mentioned it briefly, but XYZ, first and biggest perps of stocks and futures on Hyperliquid. There's been whispers, dude. There's been whispers. Can you do a little bit of research here on Hyperliquid's HIP3, specifically the XYZ company that has amassed the most volume? I want you to go ahead and launch two agents to do research on this question. The question is, are they going to have an airdrop? What are the rumors with that? And obviously, the way to qualify will be through volume. So the best way to qualify on volume is to have a profitable trading bot. Obviously, because now you're getting paid, and on top of that, you get the access to the volume, and you get retroactively hit with an airdrop if this is true. Launch two agents to see if it's actually true. Come on, lock in, bro. Come on. Come on, dude. Come on. Show me what you got. Show me what you got, dude. Make flow sound like me. Yeah, right. Doesn't sound like me. Okay. Okay, lock in. Boom, boom. Okay. Back over here. Back to Claude and Chrome. Where's she at? There she is. That's not her. Geopolitical trading is her. Where are you? How do you get to you, girl? Okay, here we go. So we have the symbols that we can trade. Okay, USA 500 USDT. USA 500 would be. Do they have US XYZ 100? Okay, I would just trade the XYZ 100. Okay, so let's go back here, and then XYZ 100 USDC. I believe this is pretty much their index to the stock market. XYZ tracks a modified market capitalization weighted against the 100 index of the largest, most actively traded non-financial companies that are listed on the U.S. stock exchange, serving as a benchmark for large cap U.S. technology and growth stocks. So this is oil. Okay, we got oil now. We got gold. We got silver. And we got like the ES, whatever. So all stocks, silver, self-explanatory, self-explanatory. These four symbols, cooking, all XYZ exposure. Okay, so to me, this is the way for this exploration here. All XYZ below to capitalize on the airdrop. So I like to do things that are double wins. For example, you see me trading on extended a lot lately, right? Well, because I have bots that can trade profitably and it's a double win, right? I make profits off the bots, and then I also potentially get cash on the back end if they have an airdrop. It's not guaranteed, and I don't act like it's guaranteed. I don't care. I just put my capital to work where they're going to pay me the most. And if you're going to give me a chance of having an airdrop, you're paying me. You're paying me market maker fees at the end of the day. The trading thesis, the key is counterintuitive. Oil is down today, -3%, despite the straight being fully closed. This is a classic buy the war, sell the news dislocation. And that's something to really dive deep into. I want to do that now. So, can you go ahead and launch two agents in order to look at how the stock market trades based off of wars? I've seen multiple times. I think there's a graph out there that shows that buying the war is actually the best thing you can do because everybody is a little bitch and gets scared and thinks the stock market's gonna fucking fall, but they really just hoes. And I want you to just do some research here and how has it been historically. Launch two agents to do that research and be short and concise on your response. So that's a very, very big thing. And what did we do in the last 15 minutes? What didn't we do? War, trade, bot. What didn't we do, dude? Come on, lock in every day. Efficiency log. I love this thing. War trade bot. Let's get it. Let's get it. I love this efficiency log because I'm going to be able to add an AI here and be like, yo, how can I lock in more? Okay, so we got her cooking. Let's go ahead and get through this here. So oil is down today despite being the straight being fully closed. This is the classic buy the wars, sell the news dislocation, or it reflects market confusion. Thin liquidity as insurance for tankers was pulled on March 5th. The thesis is that this is a buy the opportunity in oil before the real supply shock hits. Protection and indemnity insurance was pulled effective March 5th, tomorrow. Okay. Meaning the economic blockade becomes fully formalized and zero tankers can legally transit. Wow. Iraq's Rumolia field is shutting down. Storage in the Persian Gulf is filling up. The physical oil market is about to seize. Really, analysts at Barclays and Goldman Sachs are all calling for $100 a barrel. This is not a 3-day event. The straight closure is military and geopolitical. It doesn't resolve quickly. Interesting. You mentioned that this doesn't resolve quickly. What's your timeline here? How quickly will it resolve? You said not quickly, but how quickly? Yeah, I'm not going to read through all this. TLDR, CLUSDC. The anchor trade, CLUSDC, highest conviction. Current price is 73. Just still underpriced for the Hormuz closure with de-escalation risk. Here's why. Insurance is pulled tomorrow, March 5th. Rumolia is shutting down. The U.S. Navy escort plan could take weeks to operationalize. And Trump just rejected the back channel. The $73 price implies the market thinks this gets resolved in days. But with Israel launching now strikes on Tehran today, that's being priced incorrectly. Goldman raised to 76. Real analysts say 100. You are buying at 73 with 100 as the blowout target. Nah, bro. Analysts, what are analysts though? Analysts are you and I. We're analysts. So that's the thing. Is like listening to analysts is like listening to your friend. Target one, 82 to 84. Target two, okay. So stop 65. Yeah, okay. Can you hold oil from 73 to 65? I doubt it. Leverage 5 to 7, not full port. Okay, you could do it on hyperliquid though. You could do it on hyperliquid. I'm talking about oil futures for real, for real. You get smoked. You can't handle that. Can't handle that one, buddy. I can at least. I definitely can't. Trump Navy escort announcement implementation versus Iran striking another tanker. Two would be long gold USDC, very high conviction. It dipped slightly. The US is now 4 days into a major Middle East war. The global oil supply is disrupted. Inflation is being re-imported into Western economies, and the Fed's rate path just got a lot more complicated. Germany's fuel prices are up 20% in days. European gas up 60% before today's partial 60% in setup. The absolute best environment for gold. Additionally, gold benefits from USD strength. Okay, so interesting. Secondary high conviction, short EWY. Don't know what that is. Short US 500. Just like every game in trading, it's like you can make a plan for both sides. Long plat. I'm about to short my plat. Actually, I don't need that trash. Plat is a war metal and precious metal. It's up 3% today. Interesting. The critical new risk, what changed from February 28th? On February 28th, the question was, will this be big? Now you know it is big. The question that defines everything now is Donald Trump take the off-ramp. The Iran back channel happened. Trump said no publicly, but he's a deal maker. Oman is actively mediating. His true social post about free flow of energy shows he cares about oil prices. If he quietly accepts a face-saving ceasefire next week, oil goes back to 65 to 68 immediately. And you need to be out of your longs. This is the stop loss scenario. The signal to watch here on Hyperliquid in real time, if CL USDC crude breaks down below $68 on significant volume, something diplomatic is happening and you exit everything. If crude holds above 70 and pushes towards 82, the war continues and your book is working. So interesting. The conviction table is 5 out of 5 on both gold and oil. I thought those kind of moved inversely. So you're just sending me slop or what? The single most important thing that you weren't told in the last analysis is the regime on March 4th is not will oil go up, it's will this resolve in days or weeks. If weeks, oil to 100, gold to 6,000. Maybe they don't move inversely. BTC 85K. If days, everything reverses hard. Size accordingly. Keep stops tight. Interesting. So this is pretty interesting here, dude. So you're saying that gold and oil are both going to move up together along with BTC if the things keep close, war stays on essentially. So this is Chrome, Claude. I like her. Fair point. Let me be precise and scenario based instead of vague. Okay. Here's what the actual data said. The resolution timeline, what the data says on March 4th, Goldman Sachs head of oil research and said explicitly that stock market is pricing approximately 4 weeks of disruption. That's the consensus baseline. The market has already discounted into current prices. Fortune's headline, why the stock market thinks the Iran war will last 4 weeks. Trump himself has given 3 different signals in 4 days, which is telling. On day 2, March 1st, he said 4 weeks or less. By day 4, which was yesterday, it became could last 5 weeks. Today, he's saying the U.S. has the capability to go far longer. He is escalating his own timeline language with each passing day. Interesting. So that's a note. So Trump is Trump went from 4 day uh 4 week ending timeline to now pushing it to 5, and we know he's a demon, dude. And we know he is a demon, or for those that play Mario, he's Bowser. We know Trump is Bowser, and he wants to collect all the coins. That's it. Trump is Bowser, and he wants to take all of your coins. So remember that. We have the capability of going longer. Interesting. That's not a man sprinting toward an off ramp. Iran made a secret back channel approach on roughly day 1 or 2, but Trump rejected it publicly today. Israel launched another broad wave of strikes on Tehran this morning. Damn, the war is intensifying. I want you to go through Twitter and start searching these war topics to see if there's any new news within the last hour. So it's 9:30, it's 8:39 Eastern time right now. I want you to collect all the news by scrolling through my Twitter and searching through these topics in order to see any new news that might not have hit the websites yet. The websites, you nerd. Uh, oh my God, he's so cooked. Let's get it, bro. Here's the single most important thing that most people are missing. Kamalia is dead. There is no functioning Iranian government with the authority to negotiate and enforce a ceasefire agreement. Iran's Ministry of Intelligence reached out to the CIA, but who has the political legitimacy to actually sign off a deal? Who controls the IRGC? That leadership vacuum alone adds weeks of uncertainty before any binding agreements is even possible. You can't have a ceasefire if the other side doesn't have a coherent chain of command. PNI ceasefire scenario. Okay. Bottom line of time. The honest answer is most likely 3 to 6 weeks from today before any meaningful resolution. That means roughly mid-March to mid-April. Okay. So let's go ahead here and say this. All right, based off our analysis, we think this war is going to go for 3 to 6 more weeks from today. The World War III thing that's going on with the Hormuz closed, the ships being closed, the oil war that's going on here on March 4th, 2026. Anyways, what is the best exposure we can get to this? Okay, so with the gold stuff, a couple weeks ago, we had those 10 Sigma moves. in retrospect, the play was an option because then you have limited downside. Futures is tough. Futures is tough. Okay, so if the thesis here is oil to 100, are there oil options out there? Because that will be a better play for most people as they get a limit their downside, right? If you trade the futures market, you can lose unlimited. So yeah, just go ahead and tell me short and concise what the oil exposure via options are and also the gold exposure. Those two things. Thank you. Okay, so she's searching Twitter for some new things. 3 to 6 weeks, mid-March to mid-April. So we got to be locked here, dude. We got to be locked for the next whatever. But this is the good part of this is the only no, stop. There's nothing good about war, first off. Nothing good about war. But I was gonna say the only good part of having this clown as our president is he telegraphs everything. He tells us straight up. He tells us, and most people are like too big into their like how much they hate the guy, and like I don't like the guy either. But the one great thing about him is he's a fucking big head, and he tells us exactly what's going on. He tells us this is about to happen. I'm not doing this, or he like telegraphs like he's telegraphing right now that he's like, okay, at first it's gonna be 4 weeks, but now it's gonna be 5 weeks, and you know how he is. So that's the greatest part of this president. It's the only good part. It's the only good part. Let's be real. Y'all motherfuckers is so cooked. I can't believe you guys switched on us. I can't believe you guys switched on us. Half you tech bros out there were hardcore non-Trump until he started swinging money in your face. You guys can be purchased. It's sad. Incels, dude. Incels. If you always were a Republican, I have nothing negative to say about you. Nothing. I don't care your values or whatever. But if you were a Democrat before and you got swung by Trump, you got fleeced, fleeced, fleeced. And I really don't, I couldn't care less. I got friends that are hardcore Trumpies. I got friends that are hardcore fucking Bernies. So I just think kind people are kind people, and there's, you know, I don't care who you support. Support who you want to support. Just don't switch up. That's it. So I'm talking to the VCs. I'm talking to all the SF VCs. Honestly, I'm talking about those goons, the ones that have the power in this world that switched up in public and now are pissed. Oh God, you got to stay true to your values, dude. The risk of being early on the short side is much higher than the risk of overstaying because the market is already priced conservatively. The market's base case is already baked in. Any development that extends the timeline beyond 4 weeks is pure upside for your positions. And that's the more probable outcome given Trump's escalating language and absence of a functional Iranian government to negotiate with. That's a very good point, dude. That will extend the timeline. The fact that we smoked the Iranian president inherently extends this timeline. So we need to figure out how to trade this next month or so. Dude, what did I do? I'm fucking cooking this war trade, bro. War trade. I told you it's wartime. I called wartime in December. I said I'm locked, bro. This is war. This is war. I'm not fucking with you. This is me versus me. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it, baby. Come on. This is wartime. I told you this. I told you this before this whole war started. I'm locked, bro. I could just smell it. I can just smell when tensions are hot, dude. I can just smell it. Let's lock in. Good question. So I said, this is pretty interesting, dude. You're saying that gold and all things move up together. And the honest answer is they don't all move for the same reason. They all move in lockstep. Let me break this down properly because the correlation structure matters a lot for how you size and sequence. Oil is the mechanical play. This is the one everybody's seeing. This isn't macro sentiment. It's pure physical supply disruption. 20% of the world's daily oil is stuck. Rumalia is shutting down. Tankers can't move. This is not a fear trade. It's an actual barrel counting problem. Oil goes up as long as the strait stays closed, period. When the strait reopens, oil falls hard and fast. Oil is the most binary of the three. Highest upside while the war continues, sharpest reversal on ceasefire. Gold is similar direction, but different engine. So gold is not moving for the same reason as oil. Gold is moving because of what the oil causes downstream. Inflation fear, dollar instability, concerns, stagflation. Investors who are terrified of what $100 oil does to the global economy. The key difference is that gold doesn't necessarily crash on a ceasefire the way oil does. Why? Because even after a ceasefire, the inflation that's already been injected into the system, German fuel prices up 20%. Damn, European up 60%. It just doesn't disappear overnight, dude. BTC is the wild card and the most nuanced. BTC is one you have to be careful about here. All right, well, that's interesting. So let's see. I want you to go through Twitter. Okay, so here we go. She went through Twitter here, and you saw her working while I was cooking. So, all right, here's everything that's hitting Twitter. This is the real-time feed in the last hour, stuff that hasn't been fully made into the news yet. Twitter intelligence brief. So March 4th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Dog, it's not even 9:30 a.m. yet. What are you talking about? So breaking, Iran has announced that it will only I can't even read this, too small, dude. I can't read it. I'm just kidding. I can read it. Iran has announced that it will only allow China to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Damn. As an expression of gratitude for Beijing's supportive stance on Tehran during the war. This is the single most market-moving tweet on the feed right now. If confirmed, this is enormous. It means that the strait is not uniformly closed. It's being weaponized as a geopolitical tool. China gets through. Everybody else, no way. Everyone else doesn't. That's a completely different dynamic than a blanket closure. Trading implication. This is bullish oil for the West. This is bullish oil for the West. Less supply to US, Europe, Japan, Korea, but it also introduces a new wild card. China is now geopolitically advantaged by the war. Watch EWY continue lower. Watch for China-related plays. The story just got bigger and more complex. Grok confirmed context, Russia and China held the joint naval drills with Iran in the Gulf of Oman in late February. Maritime Security Belt series. China ships were noted. Okay, so how does this change things? So China has access. China may have access to the Hormuz, which is now making geopolitical thing. I don't know. So a ship is on fire. Damn, after being targeted by the Iranian Navy. A new tanker strike now posted 8 seconds ago. Damn, dude. What is this? Hormuz fire. 21 seconds ago, dude. After being hit while making an unsuccessful effort to cross the Strait of Hormuz illegally. They tried to go and they got smoked. What you think, dude? You think they were copying? Jesus. Stock futures mostly flat as traders monitor latest developments in US Iran war levels. Gold up 1.4, Bitcoin up 4.5, ETH up as well. So somebody else said markets are trading headline first right now. The Iran war Hormuz risk premium is the macro driver, and everything else, rates, data, earnings, is secondary. Brent 82 to 83 confirms Brent is holding in the 82 to 84 range, not collapsing despite the outreach rumors earlier. So diplomacy and ceasefire sentiment. Twitter consensus is bearish on quick resolution. Okay, so the consensus is bearish. And we know about the consensus is bearish. And I don't like the consensus. So everybody's feeling like it's never going to end. So the things that I'm saying are actually consensus right now. And that's why I'm trying to educate myself as much as possible. You know my process, dude. You lock in each and every day, and I'm only doing one of three things every single day. Why? Because I think systems will make me a billionaire, if not a trillionaire. If I have a system that I can follow every single day, and I have been following for the last 5 years, I will have success that nobody else will, because I put this framework together. So I know every single day I get to pick one of the three or all three. The process of automating your trading starts with the research of trading strategies. Then you backtest those strategies to see if they actually work in the past. If they do, they're not guaranteed to work in the future, but they're much more likely. That's the research, backtest, and incubate RBI system. I have this on the roadmap that you have access to. If you're in the Zoom, you can go to moondav.com/roadmap right now. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure the API key is in there again for you late guys. For the ones that were late, If you were late, you're going to have some patience to get the key. Patience required where I live. I move slow. Mañana, mano, mañana. So you have the full roadmap. You've got the keys now. If you ever show up late again, you might not get them. I'm sorry. moondav.com/roadmap. Lock in, gang. There is no other thing to do right now than be absolutely locked. So, no, Iran has not announced any interest in ceasefire or deal. Their top security official stated on March 2nd, there will be no negotiations with the U.S. Okay. The interim leadership council is directing continued strikes and resistance, with officials like Ghalibaf vowing painful retaliation. Damn. 10 minutes ago, Trump actually thought Iran would accept a ceasefire after launching 2 attacks under the white flag of negotiations, killing their religious leader, making a proclamation that this is about regime change. They said no. They said no, dude. They said no. No is no. But Trump, he doesn't know what no means. That's the thing. That's the thing. He's a bad human being. He doesn't know what no means. And women have come out and said that over and over again. But you incels keep hiring him to run our company, which is our country. God damn, y'all are cooked, bro. Cooked. If you switched up, if you've been a Republican this whole time, no hard feelings. Much love to you. I love you. I know you're a kind person. I respect your outlook on life. I do. This is just to the people that switched up on us. And now we're at World War III and people are dying. Why are people pricing a March ceasefire? The feed is chasing rumors of secret negotiations, but capital flows show a completely different picture. Too much focus on Hormuz and not enough focus on the Iranian revolution scenario for oil. This is a separate thesis. Regime change in Iran could actually be more disruptive for oil long term, not less. So, Russia, Putin angle. Okay, this is interesting because we haven't talked about Russia yet. And you know, those boys are locked. Us Americans, we're not locked like they locked in China and Russia. We got to lock in, B, before we all get smoked. Putin liked Kamahani in his own way. So the guy that we smoked, Putin liked. Smooth move, big head. Smooth freaking move. Now we got beef with Russia and China. We got Anthropic snitching on China too. Jesus, dude. Anthropic's supposed to be the good guys, and they're cooked as well. Snitching on China, saying no to the Department of War. Okay, I like that. I like that, but like, damn. Besides, Putin has always had a much better understanding with Netanyahu. Russia long tried to sit on two chairs, by the way. Iran and Israel, but when forced to choose, it's Israel. Okay, so they had to choose between the two. Obviously, Putin doesn't care about what is happening in Iran. The violent death of head of state has all. Thank God. War Monitor, Washington Post, citing sources. The U.S. military is using Anthropic Cloud AI tool in its operations against Iran. I predict Iran will win. Israel and the United States needed a quick victory. They failed. Now the long war begins. The unfolding war between Iran and the Israel United States alliance may already have passed its most decisive moment. This is notable because McIntyre is a respected defense journalist. His long war begins framing directly reinforces extended timeline thesis. Okay. So choke points are now more valuable than gold, the most valuable real estate on the planet. Dollar surged on Iran escalation as investors rushed to safe haven and amid oil and inflation fears. DXY, which is the dollar, slipped 0.34%. As NYT reported, Iranian intel signaled openness to CIA talks. Gold and USD competing for fear capital. Okay. What Twitter is telling you that websites aren't. Three things stand out. All right, go ahead and do another Twitter update here for the last 15 minutes. See if there's anything else good here. Search through it and we'll see if there's anything new here that we are missing. Okay, let's just have her cooking while we're cooking. Three things stand out that are not fully in the mainstream news cycle. China just got a carve out. That's crazy. If Iran China Hormuz announcement is confirmed, this is a major escalation of the geopolitical complexity of this situation. It becomes a US China proxy conflict over energy access, not just a US Iran war. A ship is burning in the strait right now. Active kinetic action, not de escalation. Smart money is not pricing a March ceasefire. The prediction arc tweet about capital flows contradicting the ceasefire narrative is the key contrarian signal. The Reuters and Bloomberg headlines about Iran outreach caused a knee-jerk risk on move, but sophisticated flow data apparently tells a different story. Your long thesis remains intact. I don't have a thesis, dude. I'm trying to build that freaking C thesis with you. All right, dude. I don't have a thesis here. First off, okay. Obviously, it's for me. It's between oil, gold, and Bitcoin. Those are my three symbols. Well, I got the XYZ, which is the ES, pretty much as well. Anyways, don't have a thesis. First off, but based off of everything we just searched today, what is the absolute best approach to this war trade? I can build trading bots. I could be long and short. I can trade anything. I can automate anything. I just need you to be short and concise based off of what you and I researched today. This is not financial advice. This is simply a research project, as I am a quant researcher. Thank you. Okay, so I'll send that to her when she's done searching for the new twits. All right, twits. Let's go ahead and lock in. We got a lot over here that we need to go through. Quick summary. Okay, let's go see this. See what the overview. All right, all three agents are back. Here's a full picture. War 55 endpoints. Okay, the API that you guys have access to has 55 endpoints to trade this. How do I get my API key? You can show up on time. God damn. Lock in, West Coast, son. I hope you're on the West Coast. I hope that's your reason you're here late. Here's the full picture and the top three trading strategies based on layer. Okay, the arsenal. We have 55 endpoints and you have them too. Moondev.com/docs. You've got liquidation data across 4 exchanges. Yes. Z scores. Okay. Top three trading strategies for geopolitical escalation. The commodities licky. Cascade play. Dethroned. I got dethroned by Wreck Guy. What the helly? I've never seen that pop-up come up before. She. Your HIP3 data lets you see the liquidations happening in real time on levers commodity perps. Data that nobody else has. This is interesting. This is interesting. So we can see liquidation data for oil. Huge. We can see lick data for oil and no one else can. No one else in the entire world can see liquidation data for oil except you and I, because you came to a $5 Zoom. Holy helly. Holy helly. And I know I got ops in the chat, both sides. I don't care. My ops are going to pay me too. 555. Yes, you remember that? Dominoes, me and two of my niggas, because you can't have more than 555 deals, dude. Yes, there was like 6, 10 of us, different whole team, dog. Let me get on your 5-5-5 deal. Yes, you throw me five, I'll go get my boy. He'll throw five on it. I'll find another friend. They'll throw five on it. We'll get the 5-5-5 deal from Domino's. Lock in, gang. It's time to get some pizza and lock in. How to pull it. So you go ahead and use the API and you just say HIP3 liquidations. Watch for the short liquidation cascades on gold and CL. This is interesting because everywhere else is they're not able to see the liquidations. So we're able to see when people are about to get liquidated. Okay, let's go over here and show an example. Okay, so HIP3. Okay, I can see euro, XYZ, copper, CL down here. So it's a 2.6% move. That's pretty far. Let's see if we can just go CL itself. XL, XYZ, CL. Okay, so this is oil liquidations here. You can't see this on the futures market. I'm sorry, gang. We're more locked than they are. I told you it's us versus Wall Street. I'm going to do everything in my power to take every single dollar from one of those snarky mofos that say you can't do this. I think you can do anything, dude. If Jim Simons ran up a net worth of $31 billion, you can't tell me that you can't do that too. What's the difference between you and Jim Simons? Nothing. Nothing. He spent more time on us. The exact game that we're playing today, he played for 50 years. He ran up a net worth of $31 billion. If you don't believe you can do that too, then leave. Because I know you can. It's not going to be easy. This game is not easy. But that's why it's fun. Easy games are boring. So we can see all the HIP3s. Perfect. Get that. We can get the tick data for HIP3s as well. You're literally watching leverage shorts on commodities get squeezed before the price prints on TradingView. Nobody else has the HIP3 liquidation data except you and I, dude. Oh, I'm hyped, dude. I'm hyped. I'm just hyped, dude. Another chance at this day. And every single day, it's another. Oh, I'm just hyped, bro. I love this, dude. 777 to you. Thanks for locking in. Much love to you. You. Believe in you. Let's get it. Believe code is a great equalizer. I believe you learn how to code, nobody can stop you. The HLP sentiment fade and spark money confluence. Okay, the retail panics in the direction. Okay, I like the liquidation. I'm already stuck on the liquidation stuff. I'm already stuck on seeing everybody's positions. If you came to the Zoom today, you get to see everybody's positions. The cross exchange liquidation, RB. This is interesting as well. So during geopolitical shocks, liquidation cascades across exchanges in sequence, not simultaneously. Binance liquidates first, biggest, then Bybit, then OKX. Okay. How to trade it? Get all liquidation stats, monitor by exchange breakdown. Okay, get Binance liquidations 10 minutes, get liquidations 10 minutes. Okay, the edge. You're watching 4 exchanges liquidation feed. Okay, but not all 4 exchanges have the thing. Out of this one, the idea that I have is trade liquidation. See everybody's positions on oil. Okay, oil. And then what is the other one? Gold. How do you do gold? Is it just gold? Cash, XYZ. Okay, gold. I can see everywhere everybody's getting liquidated at. These are pretty far though. So I think the trade for me is wait till we get close. So build a bot that waits till we get close to the liquidation points on CL and gold. But big trick here, caveat, cat. I don't know how to spell that. So I say I. Um, this is a different the relativity the distance here, the relativity of the distance is much different than what I'm used to, right? If I go over to BTC or let's say crypto, you can see 1.2% is not far in crypto, but I think 1.2% in CL is massive. I think it's massive. So for me here, the shorts are more attractive, 2.3%, but it's not close enough. I feel like with these big symbols, you got to be closer. 2.3% is far. I think, but we'll have to keep going. So every day I'm either researching, I'm backtesting, or I'm implementing. I'm incubating, dude, every single day. That's just what I'm going to do for the next 10 years. So if you ever want to hear from me, you want to see me, you're going to have to deal with all the yap in between, but that's your advantage. So all the people that say I yap too much, that's your advantage. Lock in and don't yap back to me. Don't put it on my comments. Don't say, "Oh, you yap too much," yada yada. Lock in. I give you everything I know, and you have an advantage on me. You don't have to yap. All right, Moondive, here's the full breakdown of all three agents. This is the real data from your Hyperliquid API. So, okay, we have the price range is 59 to 74. Interesting. Okay, that's actually interesting because this price range is 59 to 74. It looks like I'm going to be doing something with oil. I just don't know long or short. And I don't really care. I'm going to build it in a way where it's just like built off of, I think, positions and liquidations. Again, this is live. I'm just thinking this through out loud. I'm not a financial advisor. I also am just an analyst, just a trader, just a random person. The analysts you guys are listening to are regular people just like you and I. And I just come up with ideas. And if they work, they work. If not, I move on. Next day, next day, next day. I got tomorrow and I got the next day and I got the next 50 years. I can be entirely wrong here and I'll be good. I'll be good because I am just grateful to be here. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful to have another day to work with this AI, dude. So whoever's calling 100 is way ahead of the current price. Positioning 72% short. Interesting. The market is heavily betting against oil on HIP3. Interesting. Interesting. OI is small. Liquidations 100% short liquidations right now. Verdict on oil. You're not too late. HIP3 traders are still 72% short on CL. That's alpha. I might not be too late. How do you confirm this? 72% short on oil on HIP3 is very telling. So first off, how did you get to that 72% short on Hyperliquid? That is alpha. Go ahead and tell me short and concisely. That's alpha to me. If everybody is still short oil, I know it's not representative of the entire market. I get that. I get that. But it's what we got. It's what we got. We're able to see positions on Hyperliquid. So the hidden plays. This is what you asked for. So Nat Gas 63% short. Okay. Zero liquidation, 24 hours. Energy commodity directly correlated to oil. Oil sympathy hasn't hit it yet. Copper. So copper contrarian long setup, 75% short. Damn. A lot of people are shorting over here. Maybe hedging platinum. Okay. XYZ short is 60.8% long. Crowd is risk on. Tesla shorts getting destroyed. 96% of shorts are short, or of licks are short side. You didn't miss anything. Nat gas is the play that nobody's talking about. Energy commodity heavily shorted. Zero liquidation activity hasn't moved yet. Gold has the biggest absolute short exposure on the entire platform at $49 million, and shorts haven't even been touched. If you're looking for the oil trade, but not oil, it's nat gas and gold. The commodity complex is short heavy across the board, and the squeeze is just getting started on HIP3. The 72% short comes straight from your API's position data. If you look at HIP3, all positions return top 50 and 50 longs for HIP. For symbols, the H is steamed up dollar size. Longs is this, shorts. Okay, so we can see it. Perfect. And then tell me shortly and concisely why you would prefer to trade nat gas over oil and how they move together. If you said I'm not late on oil, yeah, just explain that a little more. Came for you out, bro. Let's get it. Thank you. Much love to you. 777. Let's get it, Jamie. Jada. Thank you for sharing that, Flu Bear. You guys feel free to share the key that comes into the chat. I'm gonna read the chat for sure. I'm definitely gonna read the chat after I get through all this. Why nat gas over oil right now? Nat gas is the untouched version of the trade. Oil already ran. You said yourself, big run up yesterday. Nat gas hasn't moved yet. Zero liquidation in 24 hours. I was about to ask the question she's already answered, so I'm not gonna do that. So how they move together, oil and nat gas are correlated through the energy supply chain. Same producers, Exxon, Chevron, produce both. Interesting. Same geopolitical drivers, Middle East tensions, OPEC decisions, sanctions, and same inflation narrative. When oil rips on supply fears, nat gas tends to follow because the market reprices the whole energy complex. They don't move one for one, tick for tick, but the directions rhyme. Interesting. So nat gas is interesting. You can see I have no thesis yet. So nat gas is interesting as it didn't move with oil, and they usually contago, is that word? Contago? Contigo with you? I wonder if that's derived from that. So same, okay. So when oil rips, okay. Why you're not late on oil either? 72% of HIP3 traders are still short on CL. If you were late, you'd see positioning flip to majority long. That's when the move is crowded and over. Instead, the crowd is still fighting the move. Every tick higher forces more short covers, which pushes price higher, which forces more shorts to cover. Nat gas is the cleaner version, same thesis. Okay, how do you find gas is my question. And then we got a new set of Twitters here to look into. An hour here. And then Nat Gas. Nat Gas. I love this game, dude. Now we're NG traders, Nat Gas or whatever it's called. That's not it, bro. Anybody know the Nat Gas symbol? NG maybe? I think it's just NG. NG. There we go. Natural gas futures. NY. Okay, there we go. NG1. Oh, it's down 3%. Oh, Nat Gas getting cooked. Okay, but what's it? Is this Nat Gas? Yeah, Nat Gas futures. This is what the Nat Gas chart looks like. This looks crazy. What caused this? How many billionaires were made off that, dude? So NG has not moved yet. What the hell, dude? Is this real? Am I tripping? I think I'm tripping. I think I'm not looking at the right thing. War trade. I feel like I can't be looking at the right thing. Is that really Nat Gas? It says it. Am I tripping here, or is that really Nat Gas lagging this hard? And did we just figure something out huge? Or yeah, I'm probably just tripping. Maybe I'm not looking at the right thing. Okay, sick. So we got more over here. So let's see here. Okay, this is I like this idea because this is less stressful. You know, options. Got the new version of Quant app here. I'll go ahead and upload that real quick. I'm finally monetizing my ADD, dude. I love this thing here. I just love it. Finally. Because now we don't have to flip through tabs. I built this for myself. Everything I build is for myself. I believe code's a great equalizer, so I'll show you everything along the way, but you know that I'm building for myself. So let's go ahead and get the new Quant app in there. Moondev app, excuse me. I need to change I did change the name, but I need to speak of it as the Moondev app. All right, so that is being uploaded, and you should have it in your upload section, moondev.com/quant app/download or whatever. Okay, so that's all there. We set that up. Now let's look into this options thing because for me, like, okay, I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but something big happened, dude. Big. Never mind. I'm just not even gonna talk about it. Anyways, it was with gold the other day, and yeah, it was fire, but I could have played it differently. So here's the concise breakdown, Moondev. Oil option exposure, thesis of oil to 100 or oil to 50. It doesn't matter. It can go down or up. I don't care. I'm not a financial advisor, so if you're looking for me to tell you which way to trade this, you're not going to get that here. Because you can literally look at the same data and come to a different conclusion than I do, and that's the whole fun of trading. By the way, The new app is in the drive. So you have access to that. Okay, so oil options exposure here. So USO options, United States Oil fund. Okay, so USO best vehicles. And then also can you do the same thing for nat gas? What would the best options exposure be for nat gas? This would be USO for oil, most liquid, easy to access. Okay. CL options on CME, direct crude oil options exposure, more capital efficient, but requires futures approved account. CL options. I want to see if I have access to those. CL options. What a fucking retail noob, dude. Oil options. US oil fund. Okay, I think the US oil fund is the way for me. Um, Also, I'm looking into Hyperliquid. Of course, that's where we started at, and that's easy because we already have the connections. XLE options, energy sector, ETF, indirect. Okay, XLE, interesting. The play, buy out the money 6 to 8 weeks on USO or CL, limited downside with premium paid. Upside if oil rips to 100. Gold options exposure gold options here. Okay. The play, same idea, buy calls 6 to 8 weeks out. You're right. Options over futures for this thesis. Defined risk, asymmetric payoff. If the thesis is wrong, you lose the premium and walk away. With futures, you can get margin called on a wick against you, even if you're ultimately right. So for most people, USO and gold calls. Let's look at those gold here. Gold options here. How do you do those? Best vehicles, GLD options. Again, I'm just pulling up Robinhood for the easy way of this. Um, but if I get really convinced on this, I'm just going to build a bot on Hyperliquid because we have that. We have that infrastructure already. So Spider Gold Trust, they have options. And when would the war be over? May 15th. Okay, it looks like there are gold options as well. Be careful with this stuff, dude. Don't don't trade options. Don't trade options. You're just gonna get pushed down to the dailies eventually, and then you're gonna get smoked. That's what it sounds good right now. Limited risk. You start playing that game, it's hard to get off of it. So just you've been warned. You're gonna like move your expiration up to the weeklies and then get smoked. So best vehicles, United States Natural Gas. Okay, so UNG, interesting. UNG here, United States Natural Gas. So I'm going to make a playlist here of war trade. To it, I'm going to also add the GL options here. Gold, Spider, okay. War trade. And then I'm also going to add USO here, United States Oil, to the war trade. So I've got 3 on Robinhood in these here to see if I can build some sort of algorithm in my mind. And then we'll possibly build that. Nothing's guaranteed, of course. So Boyle options, NG. Okay, so I don't know. Futures is just you got to, and you can trade that if you'd like to be locked in. If I'm going to trade futures, I'm going to trade futures on hybrid liquid. That's it. Warning on nat gas specifically, UNG suffers from severe contango decay over time. The futures roll kills you. For a 3 to 6 week thesis, this is less of an issue, but don't hold. NG futures options don't have this problem since you're on a specific contract month. Interesting. So UNG would be nat gas. So if 100 USO calls, you get CL option, CL direct exposure, easy access. Okay, I see it. Easy access is USO calls or direct exposure CL options. All limited downside with asymmetric upside. Okay, let's get it, dude. So we've got a good little bit of research here. I got a little bit more that I want to dive into so I can be fully aware of what's going on, and then I can, you're a grown ass man, I am too. I can make my own judgments here, dude. After we get all of this knowledge, I'm either researching, I'm back testing, or I'm incubating. Let's get it. HIP3 top volume player is trade.xyz. HIP3 with 90% of the volume. Now this sways me immediately from options, because options, you're going to get hyper liquid on trade XYZ. This is something interesting. Roughly 22 billion out of the 25 billion in total of HIP3 data or liquid volume. They bring TradFi assets, equities, commodities, indices on chain, perp contracts. Their XYZ index, NASDAQ 100 proxy, 12.7 billion in volume. Airdrop verdict, highly speculated, not confirmed. Strongly agrees, but that community is cooked. HIP3 volume as qualified, not officially stated. Unclaimed hype tokens reserved 428 million, 38.8 future emissions wallet. Polymarket odds are 52%. Interesting. The profitable bot double strategy that is real and actively discussed in the community. Run a profitable trading bot in HIP3 markets, earn trading profits. The volume generated may count for future hype retroactive airdrop. HIP3 taker fees are currently 90% discounted. Growth mode. Making bot strategies cheaper. Trading through specific front ends like Vend, whatever, can earn their tokens triple farm. No guarantee. Hyperliquid could apply volume quality score. Wash trade like behavior. Don't wash trade. Season 1 rewarded genuine users. Yada yada. The strategy of running a profitable ball in HIP3 is the strongest version of this bet. You earn regardless of whether an airdrop materializes, and you're positioned favorably if it does. The 8 million unclaimed hype tokens make a future distribution highly likely, but the exact criteria are unknown. Okay, so I just want to go through this last one, and I think we've done our research, dude. Here's the verdict. You're 100% right. Buy the war works 75% of the time. The numbers don't lie. So Pearl Harbor, only 3%, 1 month recovery, 20% return. Korean War, the 9% drop, recovery was in 2 months. Buy the war. Cuban Missile Crisis 8.5, before crisis ended, positive. Gulf War, 1990, drop 10% over the 12-month return. 9/11, negative 11% drop. Iraq war, negative 5.3%, 16-day recovery. Russian Ukraine on the drop, further decline, mixed rates. Israel and Hamas barely dipped, plus 36% after that. The pattern, average drawdown across 25 geopolitical events, only 6%. Bottom hit in 19 days, full recovery recovery in 40 days. S&P positive 12 months later in 73% of the conflicts. So this might have just busted the entire thing, dude. If oil is going because of the war, and wars always end up being, or not always, 73% of the time, always end up being good for the economy, which is effed up. It is what it is. Then the oil trade is not there. Maybe for a short time, not for a long time, though. And was that short time? Has it already happened? That's the biggest question in my mind. That's what's keeping me on the sidelines right now and me researching. This point here of buying the war in equities is 74% of the time right. Work was 9/11 and the Russian-Ukraine war, but in both these cases, the war.com bust and the Fed rate hikes were. Okay. Why it works, market sell-off, uncertainty before the buildup. Once the uncertainty resolves and money flows back in, everyone panics, sells, and the people with balls, they buy. The scared money literally hands out. So how does this apply to the oil trade? Everybody's panicking over the Strait of Hormuz being closed. Went crazy this weekend. I mean, the stock market's already kind of rebounding, but we'll see. Go ahead and look back to see this weekend. And I mean, low key that people panicked, but the Hormuz is closed. That's the thing that keeps me a little trade, like oil going up. That's the only thing. But other than that, it's like war trades are by everybody's bitchiness. Like they're scared. Oh gosh, let me get that cash, boy. That's what I'm reading. But the Hormuz actually being closed and 20% of the being locked up is big. That being said, another thing that I don't know the answer on is through the Hormuz. How does that affect the 20% of oil being locked up? No, or is it much lower? We just found that information to go through it, and you might not know that, but how does that change that 20% being locked up? Does it go down to 10? Does it go down to 5? Did we miss this oil trade already? I mean, it had its run up. They're saying 100, but people don't know anything. Anyways, be short and concise with this. Okay, there's one more piece of evidence I need to look into. We want to go ahead and see what she did over here. Remember, we've got Claude desktop going, and people ask me, yo, OpenClaw, OpenClaw. Dude, you see me cooking over here. I'm not using OpenClaw. This is all Claude in Chrome because we do all of our work in Chrome, dude. We do all of our work in Chrome. So here are some new tweets from just now. So the full 15-minute sweep here, Polymarket percent sees chance by March 31st. Interesting. That's actually alpha. War trade, dude. War trade cooking. I got a point for that. Nice. So Polymarket prediction. Wait, hold up. So you know how we get a +1 putting in our what we did in the last 15 minutes for the efficiency log? Well, since that starts at a new time, I got my 1 point. It popped up, but then I'd still had 0 points in the top right. But since it starts at the new 15 minutes, that you should get an automatic point to start the first 15 minutes. My timer is barely off the 15 minutes because I just put in what I did and I didn't get my point. So I'm building this so I can just all day. And I understand my biggest bumping, but literally if I didn't yap, then nobody would be here. It would just be a quiet. Literally, if I didn't yap, none of you guys would be here. So thank you for coming for the yap. So Polymarket predictions show 35%, but to 69% by June 30th. Well, that's a long time done yet. This is the single most important data. Polymarket is real money putting 65% probability is still going on at the end of March. Alpha, actually. So let's go ahead and put that up. Polymarket is usually right. So let's see. Doesn't get to 50-50 until sometime in directly validates the extended timeline thesis. Real dollars say this runs at a minimum weeks, most likely. Your longs in oil and gold are positioned correctly against this back from Polymarket. 57 Kamali's son being leader. Interesting. That leadership bottleneck in any ceasefire until it's settled. Huh. Interesting. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on who becomes the next, what do they call it? Supreme leader in Iran, because nothing can be solved. That is solved. So that's the first step. And somebody's about to get liquidated for $14 million here if price goes up anymore on BTC. So good luck to them. Second ship burning in the strait right now. So another ship is burning. Damn. Container moving east. It's a container ship, not an oil tanker, meaning Iran is now hitting commercial cargo. Some packages are lost. I'm sorry. Iranian drone hit the U.S. consulate in Dubai. So a drone attack on Dubai's U.S. a fire as the war on Iran enters its fifth day. Iranian drone consulate in Dubai. Fire contained. Message sent. This is major and not widely covered on websites yet. Iran just struck a U.S. diplomatic facility in the UAE, one of the Gulf states hosting U.S. military, officially diverting 9.5 million barrels to India. Damn, to divert oil to India to offset Middle East supply disruptions, with about 9.5 million barrels in vessels near Indian waters to arrive within weeks. And industry direct knowledge told Reuters. This signals off extreme spike scenarios for Asian economies, but it turned buyers. Europe and US still have no buy. So oil stays elevated for the West, but the global risk for Asian economies like Korea and Japan gets slightly moderated. Interesting. Iranian missile intercepted. USD is competing with gold for fear capital. Nat gas producers moving to fill European gas. Pennsylvania natural gas producers made the impact of the war on the LNG exports. BTC gold safe haven. Big picture frame out when the dust settles in Iran situation closely.